Hello, everyone. Well, I'm here with a special message. Everyone is a story. You are a story. I know it might sound cliché, but it is so true. Every single one of you has something unique and yet universal you can share and that can resonate with everyone in this room. My name is Nora, and this is Ari. We are the creators of a project called Human Postcards. It's a series of short video portraits capturing the inspirational stories of everyday people. Today, I want to share with you what I have learned from interviewing over 100 people from around the world. That if you look close enough, you can find a common thread, thought, feeling, or experience that connects us all. My mother is a political refugee from Poland, and I have inherited a whole set of wonderful skills that come with being an immigrant's daughter. For example, I always carry cash hidden in different parts of my clothing and bag, just in case I need to buy myself out of a tricky situation. I also know how to cook leftovers 4 times in a row without you even noticing you are eating the same chicken as day one. I know. I also believe in my mother's advice that the only thing I really own and no one can take away from me is my knowledge. It is the only possession I can take anywhere, anytime, in a moment's notice. So my mother also says to me, people are a source of knowledge. Listen to them as much as possible and ask them as many questions as you can. So that's what I did. As soon as I saved up enough money, I began to travel the world, listening to people, asking them questions, to learn from their experience, their perspectives, and their unique lives so I could better understand my own. As a consequence, the highlights of my travels were never the landscape or the architecture of the places I visited, but the people I would meet. And with time, I felt a growing need to share these encounters. I wanted to send a postcard in a sense, just to say, I met this person. This person exists. This is a piece of that person. Life is beautiful. And this feeling led me to create the project Human Postcards. Human Postcard story starts with a human billboard. Picture one of London's busiest streets, alive with a constant movement of people rushing from A to B, people shopping, people on their way to work, tourists, people on buses and cars. And in the middle of that constant movement, there is a person, a man, standing still. He's wearing a big bright green billboard suit, indicating a golf shop nearby. I passed him every day. And every day, he would stand for hours and hours as we all rushed past him or walked around him, avoiding his presence like a pillar on our path. But over time, I started to wonder if I could capture his story in a way that would hold the attention of all these busy people. If I could show them the human behind the billboard. So, after observing him for a few days, I finally approached him. I had no plan in mind. I filmed him with my phone and asked him a few questions. And I learned that he was from Bangladesh, and he used to be a school teacher back there. And while standing in that street, most of the time, he was reciting poetry in his mind. After our conversation, I rushed back home to edit the voice and the footage together, and the results gave me goosebumps. To see him standing in that crowd, almost invisible, and yet hear something sounding like his inner voice, felt so moving, so awakening. In that moment, Human Postcards was born. Human Postcards is an ongoing web series capturing the inspirational and often powerful messages of everyday people around the world. I created the project in 2015 with my partner and fiancé, Ari van der Poel, a sound engineer from New Zealand. Together, we have produced over 100 unique postcards in 11 different countries. Every postcard is 1 minute long and focuses on one aspect or one idea of someone's personal life. But most of all, I must admit it is just a great excuse for me to meet new people and ask them as many questions as I want, like Mama said. So I think the best way for me to explain our project is for me to show you some of the beautiful people we were lucky to meet on our travels. I'll start with Jake, a triple amputee. Jake lost both his feet and an arm in a snowstorm in Greenland where he used to work. We asked him a few questions about his journey and his rehabilitation. And now I'd like to show you a postcard from Jake to you.
Voila. I'm an amputee because of frostbite. To be honest, I probably wouldn't trade it in for anything now. You know, many people ask me, like, your choice. Would you like your legs back or would you like your arm back? And it used to be, I'd love my hand back, but I can do without my legs. Now, I'm actually happy the way I am. This is me. And hopefully this has given me a whole nother way of looking at things. It does make you actually practice those things that maybe you'd only thought about before. How to be a good person. How to go to the toilet in the woods. Simple things like that suddenly become very real things. It's not always easy to do, but it's actually easy to try.
Thank you. The next postcard I'd like to show you is about an 8-year-old boy called Inaki. I've asked him the question, which is one of my favorite. What is the most beautiful thing that happened in your life? And here is his answer in this postcard from Inaki to you.
The most beautiful thing that happened in my life is that I was born. Because we should all be grateful that we were born, because then we wouldn't be here, We wouldn't have any life. It would just be nothing. Not even a piece of dust just floating around. Just nothing. Sometimes I feel like what it would be like to be nothing and not exist, but I can't. I'm alive. I'm not just nothing. I'm actually something that lives and that can move and that can feel and that can smell and that can taste and, that I can think and that I can make the most of my life and thing and that I'm actually here instead of nothing.
Quite impressive, little boy, I know. Remember, these people are all around you in your everyday life. We are all ordinary people with extraordinary points of view if we are just given a chance to express ourselves. Over the past 2 years, my partner and I have traveled the world with no other goal but to interview and film the people we met. And as we were conducting more and more interviews, we came to realize that listening is not just an act of taking, like I had thought my mom had told me, but it also means giving. When you listen to someone, you give them a space and time to express themselves, to put their ideas together. You offer the other person the opportunity to feel your interest, your love, and your compassion. This idea itself is not really new. And the messages of our postcards are not groundbreaking like so many of the TED Talks I have watched. I would describe our project a little like this. I practice yoga every morning, and every morning, I can't believe how stiff my body feels. I need to remind it that it can bend and move and twist. Our mind is the same. It needs to be reminded. Big ideas are not the only thing we should strive for, because every idea has power if you listen with care. For example, if I tell you, breathing is important, I am not controlling your breathing, but maybe I make you more aware of your breathing, now or later. The messages I cherish the most from the people I interview are the most simple and raw ideas. Like James, for example. He's a cancer survivor. And he reminds us that a challenge can be seen as an opportunity to reinvent yourself. Or Ibu Rabin Lim. She's a midwife in Indonesia. And she tells to mothers they have the most important job in the world and says to them, "You are world peace executives. It is on your lap that a child learns peace." Or George, a 10-year-old boy from a small town. He makes arts and crafts from recycled materials. And he tells us wisely, maybe one day we might not have wool or cotton around, and we should cherish it while it is here. I'd like to finish today by giving you a simple question you can ask the next person you meet. It can be someone you know. It can be the person sitting next to you. It can be a cashier in a shop if no one's in line behind you. Ask them what is the most beautiful thing that happened in their life. We've asked this question around the world, and I can assure you it will reward you with a heartfelt story. Because everyone is a story you can learn from. The person sitting to the left and the person sitting to the right of you right now is a story. If you just take a little extra time to look at them from the right angle, you might bring out these extraordinary stories out of people who might otherwise feel like they have nothing special to share, empowering you and them at the same time. Thank you.